Hey, hello again. You are back with the crew. So good that you spend time with us. We are better and stronger together always, right? So it's storming out. I'm sorry, I'm in the trailer again, and the lighting's not great, but we'll get this done, right? I have a fun story. This story I've known for a while now, and I'm going to tie it into our favorite coin at the end of the video. But this is a story mainly about Bitcoin. But don't change the channel or anything. This is good stuff. So I got this story secondhand. However, I know it to be true because I know the person that it actually happened to, and I've heard him tell the story before. Anyway, I thought it'd be bear repeat, as it's a great fun story. So anyway, he was flying about a year ago to the wonderful country of El Salvador, which we know as the Savior. I still love the fact that the country that's called the Savior is the first country to adopt, even if it's Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies as a national currency. That's pretty amazing. And fate would have it, or spiritual world or universe, the first country that adopts cryptocurrency is called the Savior. That's pretty cool stuff. So anyway, he's flying in a plane, obviously, and wasn't flapping his own limbs. He's flying to El Salvador, okay? And he was sitting next to a gentleman, well-dressed, and the two of them got to, conversation. They were flying from Miami, and the conversation started off with, hey, well, as they all do, hey, what do you do? Well, that's what I do. And the man worked for the State Department, so the U.S. State Department. And the other man worked for a company, a great company that I love, and you guys should all look into, a company called Divi, D-I-V-I, okay? diviproject.org is where you can find those guys. Anyway, so they're flying together, and it's the week before they adopt Bitcoin as a currency in the country. So they meet, and, oh yeah, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going down to check it out, and this and that. And this man, being a sharp man, he was in a high-ranking position of Divi. And I got this story from an employee of Divi, and he and I talk quite often, about every month or so, something like that. He and I talk. But when he and I get together, we talk for 2-3 hours at a time. We just catch up, and he's been to my place, and he's been in my boat. And anyway, I've been to his place, and we met at a convention, and he's a great guy. So they're flying over there. Hey, what are you doing there? Well, the State Department guy wouldn't give him anything, and he's digging at him, trying to do the best he can, squeak any information out of the guy. And it was pretty funny the way he told the story, but I'll abbreviate it. I don't want it to go too long. So 2 or 3 days pass, and the man goes into this Capitol building, if you will, and there's a big cocktail party. Not big, there's 50 people, he said. And they're having this party, and it's a mingling thing before, and the Divi person doesn't drink, right? And he noticed the other guy was drinking, and he thought, well, the State Department guy's drinking. Okay, good. I'll wait till he's had a couple of cocktails, and then I'll hit him with a couple of questions. And it's pretty funny. He said, those of us who don't drink, and we used to drink, we really can play that angle a lot better than we used to, because I used to be one of the drinkers, and I'll tell you about anything about 3 or 4 scotches into the night. You just never know what you can get from somebody. But so he played it right, and so he finally went up and he said, hey, wow, look at you. What are you doing here? They didn't know that they were both going to be meeting in the same place. But then somebody's kind of important when, hey, wait a minute, he's here at the Capitol building as well. What are you doing here? So the intrigue came from both sides. So it's funny, he waited till he was a couple cocktails in, and the next thing you know, he hits him with a question. So wait a minute now, what does the U.S. State Department want to do with this whole thing down here? And the guy says, I can't tell you that. he didn't get anything from him on the plane, but he goes, you know, I can't tell you that. He goes, well, what if I guessed a couple of times? And he goes, you'll never guess. He goes, I already know the three guesses you're going to have. And he laughed and he goes, that's not why I'm here. Believe it or not, that's not why I'm here. So he thought about it and he goes, well, shit, well, okay. All right, do I get three guesses then? And the guy laughed and he says, no, even if you found out, I can't tell you, and this and that. So they joked around and mingled around with some other people. And I guess about an hour or two went by and he hit the guy up again. And he kept drinking, obviously. And so he comes up to him and he says, I got it. I know why you're here. You're here because cryptocurrencies are the future, and you're worried that the US dollar is not going to be relevant in the future, so the State Department wants to see how this is all going down here. Which is the guess that you and I and almost everybody we know would have asked the same question, right? And he started laughing. He's like, no, see, that was one of the questions that I knew you were going to ask me. And he goes, okay, well, I got two more chances, right? Choice questions. And the guy laughs and he goes, well, come on over here. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that may or may not be the reason why I'm here. But I am going to tell you something that you probably haven't thought of and nobody in the crypto world has thought of. And you guys should think about this. Now, remind you, this is a year ago. He says, one of the biggest reasons why I'm here, although they haven't said this to me, and that's not why I'm here, but I know it to be true because I'm in on the meetings. The biggest concern that the U.S. State Department has with cryptocurrencies is, you guys out there are probably wondering what this is, because I didn't get it until he said it. They're concerned that the future of voting will not be what it is today. And so the Divi founder, one of the founders, said to him, well, okay, right. So the future voters are going to be into crypto and they're worried about getting elected. Yeah, it kind of all makes sense to me. And he stopped him in the middle and he said, no. By the time Bitcoin reaches $100,000, there will have been more billionaires created from Bitcoin than any other industry in the history of man. And he went, oh, more than oil, more than Hollywood, more than electric, more than auto. More billionaires created because of a cryptocurrency. Wrap your head around that. And it's somewhere right around $100,000 Bitcoin. Now, for you and I, who some of us have some Bitcoin, some of us have some whatever, what they really are concerned about is, as you and I know, the rails and the tracks in which move all that money. Okay, this is where the XRP angle comes in. Stop and think about this. Not only is the rails that all the transactions of all the wealth in the world is going to be moving on the coins that we currently own, the people that own not all the currency, but the vast amount of billionaires created are going to be coin savvy, if you will. They're going to vote in people who are into the coins. They're going to vote into people who believe in their XRP system and their XLM system and their transactional speeds and the remittance, changing the world of the remittance and the payments and privatizing or walletizing every person on the planet. And so that we can all be not only our own bank, we can all be our own brokers. Be your own broker. So stop and think about what that means to the State Department, the future of voting, the future of the way the world's run. Because remember, how is our world run today? Our world is run because of the oil people want it to go like this. That's why they tore up all the train tracks, right? How many hundreds of thousands of miles of train tracks just in North America were ripped out when the automobile came along? So we would burn more oil. Well, the future of technology is going to be run on blockchain. The people who become billionaires in the future are going to run the world. The thought process that all of us, you and I have, in particular you people who are probably all younger than I am, are going to change the world and change the thought process of technology and how we all use it. And what we believe the poor people, not the less privileged people in the world, have had access to. You're going to have more millionaires and more billionaires who are sympathetic to the smaller people. Because let's remember, in the first time in history, how many people became wealthy off the cell phone? Not many. How many off of, Microsoft? A few people. How many people got off of Facebook? A couple people. How many people are going to become wealthy because of crypto? Millions. And what is the one thing that all of us who believe in blockchain and understand what it means to the future betterment of all man, is it's going to help the little guy. It's going to eliminate most of the middlemen involved in the entire world. So, who are going to be the future lobbyists? Crypto people. That's what they were worried about. That's where their mindset is. How huge is that? How do you now know that you're in the right place? You must know now, okay? We have now government agents, if you will, secondhand, obviously, saying, now I did a video not long ago that talked about Wall Street's all in. Now we have politicians being caught up in this FTX thing, okay? We have the SEC looking like complete mental midgets right now with this whole court case. Even if that thing even remotely goes in their favor, everybody in the public is just going to be, are you crazy? That's just wrong and it's not right and we all know it and we're just tired of your whole scam, okay? So, I know you've heard the term be your own bank, but wrap your head around that be your own broker thing, right? In the future, we're not going to need those guys. And again, I am not in favor of regulation at all, because regulation translates into manipulation. If they have regulatory boards, they're able to manipulate anything they want to do. With the futures and options market, that's how they've been doing business forever. That's how they control the price of wheat and oil and all the rest of it. Anyway, you've heard me go on and on about that. So, no new Bob updates, but, I really thought I'd share that story with you guys. I hope you guys got something out of that. And I think with that, I got a fun video really coming up in my next video or two, and it's going to kind of take off from where this one ended. So with that, I'm out, and I'll be back soon, hopefully. You'd think after 80 videos, I'd know how to end one of these things.